What's happened here? Not good. Okay, this is the last of the best 2009, April 09 120 Prado, or LC 120, Land Cruiser 120 for people overseas. They call them different things and all that. Okay, so this is a real interesting one. We haven't had something like this before that I can think of. First thing I note is look at the color of the engine. Okay, so normally if it's clean, they're nice and alloy color like the perimeter of the head. And normally if they haven't had oil changes, it's quite black, but it's just got this weird yellow stain, you know. So we're going to find out what oil it is. Maybe it's sat for a while. It does a lot of short trips, I know that. But the big thing here is all the injectors are stuck. Now, it's only done 149,000 Ks. We don't believe they've ever been out. That's why I'm going to add a bit more information onto this video and let you know the information as we find it. But right now, we've just been fiddling around and none of them are coming out. You know, 149K, that one won't twist. Oh, that one did. Okay, so that one's cracked loose. Oh, that one's loose as well. I can feel it's crunchy though, so it could have blow by. I almost want to pull it out in this video, but what we'll do is we will get my hands dirty. I'm meant to be cameraman at the moment, but anyway, what I'm going to do is we're going to get them out and lay them on the bench and then discuss what the problem is. We've been over this years ago. Please check all the old videos, injector information, but in this video I'm going to explain exactly what's happened here and what the problem is. Yeah, this is why you need to be checking your oil pickup. This is why you need to get injectors out. This is another reason why it's 7 years 170, whichever comes first, not 11 or 12 years and 150, because the time came first. You know what I mean? The kilometers didn't, but the time did. It's about the injectors. It's also about the seats. This is going to be interesting, okay? We're going to analyze the injectors, see if they're originals or not. We're going to take a look and decide, try and let you know if we think they've ever been out. They probably haven't. This has had the second owner since, if I remember correctly, about 40,000 Ks. Anyway, we'll get them out and have a look and see what goes on. Go through these one by one. We're going to start off with number one. We're getting a little bit of movement out of it. Now, I've said this before in other videos, and you know, there's other places, we're not going to name them, they leave their shifters lying around, do some dodgy stuff, but about the only tool a shifter's useful for is you put it on the inlet of the injector here, because these are rubbish, and gently, without hitting the camshaft, more detail in other videos, and then you put your pry bar under here. So that's what we're going to do now. No need to demonstrate, because I'm going to get in the way. I need the hands to do this. So our pry bar's going under here gently without damaging any of the camshaft lobes, and gently wiggle that back and forth. It doesn't, well, this one's going to come out fairly easy compared to some others, but we're going to get all four out and bada bing, we'll analyse them and explain to you exactly what's gone down. Quite difficult to be able to work two hands at once sometimes. I've got an assistant here doing this for me, so I can video for you, but you've got to sort of maintain a bit of pressure on the pry bar at the left, and you've got to just gently back and forward with the shift and make sure you're not slipping and hitting that camshaft. Doesn't matter if you touch it a bit, we make sure the lobes are turned down anyway. Even if you do slip and touch it, probably nothing's going to happen anyway, but it's just best avoid it. You can see how hard it is and how tight. It's probably early stages of blow by is my guess. That's where it's really dry, almost like welded in, and maybe that's why. Yeah, just this. I haven't worked out this yellow yet. I've seen similar in engines, as other people have, but in the 1KDs, it's usually black or it's clean. It's not usually. This is kind of like a clean one that's yellow. It's really just a bit bizarre. It's got it's called jaundice. Quick little bit I want to add to this video to show you that really dry part. These are really dry and stuck well, right? Can't show you on this one because the oil ran down. That's why I'm quickly showing you this now, but let's get the rest out and we'll go into some more detail. We'll go into a bit more detail with what's happened here. So you can see all the components, they're all got that staining. Anyway, one of the most important things you need to know is, well, they are original injectors. So injectors that have got a code like that stamped on them, it would be 08, 09, so they're different numbers, but the code with a round circle was only on those old original injectors. And they'll be really old. I can get to some dates later in the video, but first precaution is, see how usually when the injectors come out normal, that's number 4, fairly normal looking. The seats on the bottom of the injector, you've got to make sure you get those out. Number 3, again, fairly normal looking. Although they seem to be a little bit stuck, you can see a bit of tightness at the bottom of the injector there. that seat fell off as it was getting lifted out, so we grabbed that. Now we're working, as we speak, we're working on getting the last two seats from underneath it, because you can see they're not there, right? That's the bottom of the injector. Same with that one. You can see there's no seat there. Compare the pair, right? That's normal looking. And this is, there's a delivery of that one from that. Thank you very much, sir. So what we'll do is clean that up and show you what's happened there. And we've explained this in other videos. This is where it's really important, but I haven't done it for a while because I've been busy trying to educate you guys and show you other stuff that we're seeing, lots of different aspects, including the other channel now, so we can sort of separate the touring. Thank you very much, sir. So we're going to clean these up. I just want to show you before we clean them up. I'm not going to clean the injectors. I'm just going to clean these 4 seats up, get them off the injectors and lay them all out so that we can go through in detail exactly what's happened here and how you can avoid it. This is a really important video. This is one you want to share far and wide to try and help out your mates with Prados, Hiluxes, whatever. And while you're at it, just tell them, just get on the bloody channel, get on the playlist and watch the injector information type videos. In the playlist is all your headings for the subject you're interested in, if you like, if you just want to be, I just want to know about injectors. So we've got them all cleaned up here. A lot of people go, oh, so why do you want to replace injectors every 7 years, 170? Well, kind of like, you know, all the information we give is based on evidence we see. We don't give a stuff about what's going on in some other Facebook group and some, you know, he said this and she said that, and people take documents and they manipulate it and change it and use some of the images and something. They write up their own document and use, you know, we don't care about that. What we care about is this is what we do every day, specialise on Prados, on these engines, whether it's injectors and whatever other problems they do. We've done it every day for a while, okay? So what we see is what's happening, okay? Now, let's take a look at these seats. This is the reason why. Remember, 149,000 Ks. We believe they haven't been out. Everything we see, all the evidence here, right? It looks like a factory install. All the torque on all the nuts and bolts, the pipes weren't bent. The owner that owns it now, second owner, owned it from about 40,000 Ks. I can't remember exactly. I could get it wrong. So there was a chance they were taken out then, but certainly not after then because he's done all the servicing himself and they haven't been out. But if they were out at 40,000, they probably would have bent the pipes the way they normally do it, and the pipes weren't bent and there was no other evidence. So we're believing they've never been out, and I can tell you categorically, definitely original injectors from those stamps, okay? Now, if they've never been out, it's been 11 to 12 years. It's 2021 now. The vehicle was built in 09. Way too long to leave them in. The injectors are off their head. So this is, again, we've done a diagnostic video that included this vehicle and the injectors. I think it was called, what's it called? David's Diagnostic. It might not be out yet anyway, but this may even come out before it. Who knows how crazy I am releasing what videos. But what's happening here? You've got your injectors. That's one wear and tear item there, right? They're all wear and tear items. They're going to wear out. Everything mechanical wears out eventually. It's just a matter of how long. They're doing a lot of work, a lot of cycles under a lot of pressure, fuel pressure, and it does erode and wear components away, moving metal parts, right? They're actually really good. It's amazing how long they last. I think they're great, but you know, they do wear out. It's amazing they last as long as they do. Anyway, these seats, same deal. You've got things heating and cooling at different rates, okay? So you've got the alloy head, you've got steel over the injector nozzle here, you've got copper is the seat. Now, we've explained this in other videos. I highly suggest after watching this, you go and watch the injector information videos in our playlist that talks about all these seats and what goes wrong with them, with the oldest ones to the newest ones, and we haven't done it for a while. That's why I'm going to spend a bit of detail with this one. Okay. You can see at the back here, you can see the seating area, right? Can you see that? Let's just bring it over here a little bit, right? Right. Let's just bring them over here. I don't care about what order they're in. It doesn't really matter, you know, because you'll see from the washers which one's leaking, which one's not. Let's get them all close together. Okay. Probably better if I stay still so you can actually see what's going on. They erode away in the middle a little bit. You can see that. You can see through to the copper. But see the seating area? There's plenty of pressure around one side, but not so much at the other. So over time, perhaps the pressure releases a little bit, you know, the 22 Newton meters. This side of that one looks all right, just eroding away in the middle. This one, again, you can see it going bad and the leak starting around this side. That was what, lucky we got this when we got it, right? It's kind of like just in time, lucky. And same thing with this one, right? Let's turn them over just so you can get a view of both sides. Get another perspective on it. Again, you can see the same markings where it's not getting enough pressure at one side, and it's going to start, the compression's going to start blowing more and more out that side, and it really erodes out that seat and things get bad. It really does. And you want to, this is kind of lucky, but you even want to get to it before this. These can get, see how that's really dry? They can get really dry, stuck and welded in there. Lucky it didn't take too much time to get these out. We've showed you the procedure that works best, and some people are going, oh, you can get a puller, and oh, you can do this, and oh. Look, you know, we know all that. I'll just remind you, we didn't come down in the last shower, right? We have got a brain, been doing this a while, and we've tried lots of different things, and the fact of the matter is, you can hang the vehicle from the roof, and with the wheels off the ground by one of these injectors when they're stuck, right? With your puller and whatever you want. It needs to have that upward pressure applied to it and the twist happening at the same time to get them out. They will come out. The problem you've got is, obviously that cap nut there, it screws on clockwise. So depending which way you turn it and how stuck they are, whether that stays stuck and comes undone, that could be a drama. We haven't had that yet, but we've dealt with a lot of these, okay? And it's our belief that that's the best way. Just gently with a pry bar up here, turn it over so the camshaft lobes are nowhere near it in case you do slip. Gently with a shifter on the inlet. Yeah, you can say it's dodgy. I don't care, mate. It's the only thing that's good, shift is good for, but it is, there's nothing. Until, look, here you go, special tool. I better talk to Kaon. Pretty sure these threads are the same as the wheel nut. What's a wheel nut? What is it, 12 by 1.5? Anyway, don't hold me to it. If you could get something that screws onto there, and with a bar on it, you know, that extends 6 or 8 or 10 inches, you don't want to have too much because you're just going to snap this off anyway then. That's the whole thing. But this awesome tool would be something that's got a sleeve that goes over, that supports on this area, maybe even all the way down. That way you get your twisting without using a shifter. And of course the pry bar underneath here on the camshaft, that's not going to do any harm either, okay? Just be careful. This is very rare, guys. We see this less and less. It's quite exciting to see this for a change. The main points being, lucky he got to it when he did. So what's happening here is, at the moment, those seats are just starting to leak. That's what's going on here with these two, right? The compression is blowing past there. This vehicle does a lot of short stop-start trips. I think he said he goes to work 4Ks or something like that, right? It's done 149,000 Ks only in 11 or 12 years. Sitting around isn't the best thing for the injectors or this, whatever. This is why it's like a carton of milk, you know, it's got to use by date, you know. It's like a service, your oil, it's 6 months or 10,000 Ks, right? Whichever comes first, not stretch it out as long as you can. Same deal with these things. If you've got a 120 Prado, the injectors need to come out. I don't care. I've done these at 30, 40, 80,000 Ks, right? Injectors off their heads, sitting around, doesn't help things. So, what happens here is, this seat is leaking, that seat there is leaking here. Compression blows past there. That's what's happening here, right? Then what eventually happens, just here in this area, is an oil gallery where oil's flowing around the injector. There's an O-ring here. That's an O-ring that stops the oil from coming down. That's just starting to fail here, because what happens first is the heat from all the compression blowing up here hardens this O-ring, right? And it's still rubber at the moment, but there was obviously a little bit of oil coming down, which is what's causing that issue there, okay? It gets worse. It cracks, it goes to pieces, all the oil comes down, then the whole injector body all the way up gets caked in carbon, then all that carbon flows back out this oil gallery here, returns back to your sump. Your oil pickup is then trying to pick up oil and ends up with all those little bits of carbon. So on this vehicle we did an inspection, I think. No, we haven't done an oil change on this one, but the owner should have been checking the oil pickup, and this is why. And I can tell you already, from what I see here, the oil pickup isn't going to be blocked because there's no blow-by. There's no particles, little bits of carbon that are going to block that. That happens later on when there's a lot more mess going on. It can be only one injector, and it doesn't take much to get a little bit of particles on there. If you've got a small amount on your oil pickup, you may need to get your injectors out and investigate further. I'll give you the odds, right? These seats, I'll tell you, they normally last in excess of 200,000 K, normally. But this is another one that's going to go on the wall. This set here, 149,000 Ks. We've got a number on the wall there that we've kept, 138K, 144K, and then it goes 166, 167, and other than those crappy brass washers that leaked straight away because they were too hard to seal in the first place, all the others last over 200,000 Ks. So there's not a lot that leak like this at the lower Ks, but I hope this is enough of an example for you to understand why it is really important. And if you're going in there to pull them out, to change these seats, at the same time, the wear and tear, the injectors are due for replacement anyway. It's well documented by Toyota that the cause of cracked pistons is wrong combustion from the injectors. Get your fresh squirters in there, bada bing. I don't know, I think that's it for this video. We've got to go clean up all the ports, get all this mess out of the ports. Obviously new injectors, new seats, check the valve clearance, all the things we do. Available in the VIP group, full detail videos. If you want to purchase the injector kit, please text me with plenty of notice. Monday mornings from 8 or 9 AM Melbourne time, right? Monday mornings is the time. Throughout the week we've got to get other work done. All communication please Monday mornings if you can. And if we're on leave or if you don't get a response, try again the next week, try again on Thursday morning perhaps, in case I missed it, and you might get, yeah, sorry I missed that one, I got hammered, because I am asking everybody to contact me Monday morning. Thanks for watching, guys. If there's something else important with this job, I think we'll just do it in a separate video. This one's long enough. It's a bada bing. I hope that help you understand what's going on here and how important it is and how to avoid it. Please give us a thumbs up if that was helpful. And if you haven't already, now might be a time to subscribe and turn that bell on so you don't miss the next important bit of information.
Bada bing, bada boom. 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 Bada bing, bada boom.